Back tall trainer Jeremy Bernad, and this morning we are excuse me looking at joining a gym. That was actually not planned. That was an actual real club. A lot of people this time of year are looking at starting with a health club for the first time, or trying it with those New Year's resolutions, and a lot of people will sign up to do a gym. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is there are cost issues, there are commitment issues, those kind of things, and you are here to help set us straight on things we can do, the questions to ask, and the things to make sure we take care of before we do that. Yeah. And you would start with the most important issue, I think, which is cost versus value. How do you determine that?
Well, you're going to really have to look at, a lot of health clubs are going to be charging some pretty low stuff just to try to get people in, and they have to do a really, really high volume. And so if they have a really high volume, they're not going to be able to take care of you that well. And you may not be able to find equipment when you want to use stuff. There may be waiting times on the treadmills or a limit on how long you can use cardiovascular equipment. And so you're not going to be able to get quite as much. And they probably won't have quite as much support staff available to you.
How do you find that out, though? Can I go in and find out? Do you ask questions, what's the average wait time to use equipment, or peak hours? Or what kind of questions would you ask?
And one of the things you can look at is you should really just go to there when you think you are going to be working out. The most likely time for you to be working out, go there.
Just take a look?
And that's when you should be checking it out. Don't go on like the weekend if you're not planning on working out on the weekend. Go during the week on the day that, particularly like if you're planning on working out on a Monday, you should check it out on a Monday. Monday is the biggest, most packed day in a health club, so it'll give you an idea of what kind of service and what kind of availability is going to be there.
See, I think I would have guessed, having not been in a health club for a while, I would have guessed a weekend only because people have a little more time, but Monday people are working off the weekend.
Everybody feels guilty from the weekend, so Monday's a big day to come in and get it going there.
Very good advice, and my producer Mike will help me walk through 4 of these points you've got. So number 2, what's number 2 on things we need to explore? Contract. They make you sign a contract?
Most health clubs will, and that's a general thing, and it helps with the health club just staying stable. So it's not a terrible thing, but health club contracts, as well as weight loss supplements, are named by the Better Business Bureau very often as some of the biggest scams and complaints that they get.
Why?
There's a lot of high pressure still in a lot of health club contracts and a lot of health club sales. So they push you into a contract.
For how long, though?
You don't realize how long you might be stuck. Sometimes there could be 2 or 3 year contracts.
And you can't get out.
And you may not be able to get yourself out, and there really should be some ways out, but sometimes if a health club decides they're not going to do that, then there's lots of lawsuits. I get the industry publications all the time, and there's always a new health club getting sued because of their membership agreements.
So what would you tell people to do? Simply read all of the contract, ask questions? What would you tell people?
I would definitely have them read the contract. It will take a while, and the person who may be selling you may not want you to be going through and looking at all those particulars. Some other things with the contract is, they should be able to let you out with a health issue, or if you're moving a certain distance away where you're not going to be able to access the club anymore, they definitely absolutely should let you out then. There might be a cancellation fee that you can pay to get out, and so that's a good thing to be aware of. Find out what that is if you do want to cancel. Just sort of like if you build any kind of partnership, knowing how to separate that at the end is going to be an important thing.
And not to belabor this too much, but how many clubs, or are there any clubs that let you simply pay on a monthly basis as you go, month by month, without signing a long term?
There are. You can join and do that. Usually it's a little bit more expensive because it doesn't help with their business stability as much. And so it is a little bit more expensive to go that way. And so if you're really unsure, you can go that route.
Until you're ready to commit.
Yeah.
To something. I think that's a good idea. Okay, the hard sell. When you talk about a hard sell, what's the hard sell?
Usually what they'll do is you'll come in and they'll paint a really good picture. They'll go, okay, well, for you especially, you're a really cool guy. Like, we want to get you in here. I'll waive the joining fee. I'll cut your fees down a little bit extra. Be paid less per month. You may get some other incentives if you sign up today. And if you don't sign up today, all that is gone. So, you're really, really missing out if you don't do it right now. And they'll take your money later. And they'll give you some good incentives later. If they're going to do it once, they will probably do it again. They want you as a member, and so you don't have to feel super pressure there. You can walk away and think about it. If you do end up signing up, they just put lots of pressure on you, you feel a little uneasy there, you do have 3 days. It's,
Okay.
it's contract law. You can, if you get in there.
Even when you do sign up, you've got 3 days?
If you sign, you got 3 days. If you really don't want to be part of it, to cancel that right away.
Okay.
So you go home and you feel kind of some remorse about that. You go like, I don't really like the place. The people that are working out there maybe not quite, they're not like me. Health clubs are really niched to particular demographics. So one might really cater to stay-at-home moms. One might be for executives. One might be for like 20-somethings.
Yeah.
And one might be set up for retired people. So you do want to try to find, okay, these people match me. I feel comfortable about this. If they have a free trial period, go do that. A really good quality health club will let you try out because they believe in their services.
And I got about 45 seconds. A final point you want to make is your goal, knowing your goal. What would you tell people about their goals?
Well, if your goal is, if you really are comfortable in a health club setting and you know what you're doing, you don't really care about having any extra assistance, your goal is just going to be, I want to get some use of equipment. And so those high volume places a lot of times will be just fine for a person like that. That'd be a great option for them. If you're trying to figure out how to lose weight or how to get in better shape, and you don't really know what you're doing, a higher service place is gonna help out a lot more for that.
Talltrainer.com. Thank you. See you again soon.
Yes.